Good morning. I have been the victim of a troll, and this was a most magnificent troll. And so I want to tell you about this troll and give you the facts underlying this troll and my chagrin at having found out that I was trolled this hard. This goes back to a video that the Frog made about Earl David Worden. I always get confused as to which is his first name, but it is Earl. His name is Earl David Worden. Frog put up a video where he claimed that there were 3 new charges, and he asked, with a question mark, if these 3 new charges were 3 new victims. Claim was 3 new charges. Question, are these 3 new victims? I put up a video that was unlisted. I linked it in my Discord. Obviously, I will link it in this video because it's relevant, where I explain, not being a dick, I just explain why it appears that there are 3 new charges. Because every order that is made in a criminal case has to relate to a charge. And there's only one charge, so there you go. I also explained how any new charges would have to go through a grand jury. There would have to be a grand jury for any new charges. A true bill returned from a grand jury. Unless they're misdemeanors, in which case it doesn't have to necessarily go through a grand jury. But my point is that I explained this, and then instead of taking down his video or correcting his video, he puts up a video saying that I was trolled. I was trolled because he used a question mark on, are there 3 new victims? I don't understand what is meant by trolling nowadays, apparently. Apparently, the old meme about acting like a retard, getting caught acting like a retard, and then saying, joke's on you, I was only pretending, isn't just a meme. It is reality. It is real life. Then, yesterday, Frog put out another video. In this video, he used question marks. Boy, did he use question marks. But he asked where the money went on Eric Brandt's bond. Case closed. Where's the money? Ooh, but he used question marks. That was the second big troll. After I pointed that out again in a unlisted video, he put up another video saying how he trolled me. He trolled me so hard. And that's when I made the unlisted video public. Now I'm being told over and over again that it was a troll. And Teresa has put up an unlisted video where people in Discord, and let me just be clear that the people in Discord are generally just terrible, terrible people, found that the case was closed. I believe it was Alex09 was asking why, what's up. Bruce said it appears that it is going to a different court. And Frog says that an investigative journalist should look into it. Well, an investigative journalist should also post accurate results. But apparently that is prima facie evidence. That is case closed that they were trolling me because Bruce conjectured that it may have been moved over to a different case or a different district. And Frog saying that he should investigate. Apparently that proves that their intent was to troll me. I am too old for all these games that kids play nowadays on the internet because I just don't realize when I'm being trolled. But let's pause for a second and let's examine my long asserted role. Self-asserted, obviously. I choose to do this. But my role is to correct legal misinformation in this community. On the first one that Frog tried to pretend he was trolling on. He made definitive statements that there were 3 new charges, and then he asked if there were 3 new victims. I clarified in my response to him, again, not being a dick, doing it as privately as I could, very clear to him that there were not 3 new charges. I did not even address any question of 3 new victims. No new charges means no new victims. He didn't take it down. He is very interested in misinformation. That video that he put up is still up. Why he would do that, I don't know. Is it pride? Is whatever it is, I don't know. But what I do know is that it does give cover to Earl. Earl could point to the retards on Discord spreading misinformation about him. Congratulations, guys. You made him into a victim. And I explained that. I also explained how throwing a question mark at the end of a declaratory statement does not change the declaratory statement. People still understand what you're insinuating. Just like Eric Brandt threw a hope and a prayer in the middle of a threat, an obvious, cognizable threat, and now all of a sudden that is supposed to have changed the sum and substance of what he was saying. It doesn't work that way. People don't work that way. And if you're putting out information, misinformation, either because you're too stupid to figure out the truth, too lazy to research the truth, or you're just a liar who is intending on trying to remove Eric's ability to get out of jail, to properly prepare his defenses, which is part of due process, then I have no use for you. And my job, as I see it, in my channel, my job as I have chosen to define it, is to point out what you're doing. If you think you're goading me into responding to misinformation on the internet, okay. I would do it with or without any theoretical goading. That is my role. That is my self-titled role on the internet, is to protect people in this community from misinformation. Now, just be clear, I am not going to be donating to Eric's GoFundMes or PayPals or whatever, just like I'm not going to fund Earl's. But I will oppose people putting out misinformation and trying to get others to not donate based on misinformation. I don't do the same for accurate information. You may have noticed that when Desert Sentinel Isn't Dead, when he posted comments, he may have done videos on it. I think he did a video on it, but I think it was on his channel. I don't entirely remember. Could be wrong. Thought he did a video on it. Anyway, he said that the funds, the bond funds, if Eric posts them himself, can be used to pay fines, pay fees, pay costs. Eric may get none or some. Whew, she almost hit that rearview mirror. Jesus, that came close. He may get all or none or some of those funds back. We don't know. That is an accurate statement. So if you are donating to Eric on the assumption that you may get none of those funds back, that is a valid thing to be apprised of. I don't oppose that. If you are warned that Eric might get the money back and not refund it to you, well, that's a bit conjectural, but again, it is valid. It is something to be aware of. He is under no obligation to return that money to you. But if you're told that he has absconded with the money, oh, I threw a question mark on it. I merely strongly suggested that he has absconded with the money, that he has $10,000 that he's hiding from you. $10,000 you donated that he could use towards his upcoming bonds. That is misinformation. You're trying to, look, I get it. I get it. You don't like Eric, and that's fine. But let the system deal with him. let him go through the process. Let the process determine it. Don't try to take people's choice away through fear-mongering about whether or not they want to contribute to his ability to get out. It is huge to be out and free while you're facing trial. It is a huge advantage. That is why you have a constitutional right to at least have a bond hearing. It's because it is much easier for your attorney to work with you to prepare your defense if there's not a thick pane of glass in between you and the attorney, where you can look at evidence together, where you can review things together, pass things back and forth. Point to on the page to where you're talking about. It is not having to listen to the people in the booth next to you have a heated argument about him cheating or something. You know, it's just, I've had to do 2 jailhouse meetings with clients like that, and it's just terrible. You should not interfere with the system in that way. And I just want to point out that whole Discord crew, first of all, I just loathe being painted as with them being somehow related to me or me being responsible for their behavior, because they're terrible people who do terrible things. But they employ the exact same tactics as the auditors do. They use misinformation. They suggest, was a video the other day, Frog put up, suggesting that people should call the VA to report somebody who I've never heard of. I don't remember his name. Some dude who supposedly has 70% disability, because they don't see the disability. Well, disability can come in many forms. Mental disability. I have a client who is a disabled vet. He gets these cluster migraines. He's 100% disabled because he gets cluster migraines. And, you know, that's between him and his doctors. He's in some study with the VA. They're looking into it. It's actually war injuries that cause these cluster migraines. But you can't always see disabilities. People still want me to go on about blind justice, because he can obviously see to a point. He's not 100% completely blind. He may be legally 100% blind, but he's obviously not physically 100% blind. And the weird thing to me on that was the biggest advocate that blind justice was lying was Holly Weir, who 99.9% of the time would only be in text, who made videos just like Blind Justice, and who also claims to be blind, legally blind. Well, she explained it, that it could be just a narrowing of vision. If you have a field of view that's, you know, only this many degrees wide, you could be considered legally blind. If you can only see like shapes and blurry images at a certain distance, if your eyesight is not good enough to read things at a certain distance, you could be considered legally blind. You could still see to a point, but you're legally blind. But anyway, my point is that they're trying to get this guy's VA benefits taken away. They're trying to get his fucking VA benefits taken away, to shut him up. Just like people tried to get me fired. Just like people have tried to get others fired. It's the same fucking weapon that the auditors use. It's contemptible. Spreading misinformation just like the auditors do. It's contemptible. They do the exact same things. They're just on a different team. I'm so sick of people being on teams. This community is just terrible for teams. I'm on team David. I'm on team Eric. I'm on team this. I'm on team that. People tell me, hey, I'm on your team. I don't fucking want you on my team. I really don't. I would rather surround my people myself with people who tell me when I'm wrong and who are actually able to show me that I'm wrong. Not whiny people, not losers, not people who just are with me because I'm the latest flavor. Teams are fucking ridiculous. I remember Brent FTP, which stands for fuck the police. He was riding Blue Bacon's jock because Blue Bacon was arguing with me over 18 USC 795. Blue Bacon is an MP. He is a military police officer. And Brent FTP, Brent fuck the police, was cheering on a cop because the cop was arguing with me. Cop never did address an installation has to be located within a base. Never addressed that. But whatever. My point is, I'm here to correct misinformation. I don't care who is putting out the misinformation. When people put out misinformation about the auditors, like they tried to rake Bao through the coals on his military history, they were lying, and I pointed that out. If you try to, I am on the side of truth, and when I'm wrong, I'll mea culpa. You're not on my team, and if you think you're going to troll me into responding to you by putting out misinformation, well, you're going to do it. You're going to win. Congratulations. But at the end of the day, you're the one out there who's either lazy, stupid, or a liar. And the worst thing you could say about me is that you trolled me into a response. Congratulations. I hope that makes you feel better about yourself. At the end of the day, I'll be able to sleep well knowing that I have corrected another piece of misinformation on the internet that directly affects the auditing community. Thanks for watching. Have a great morning.